So does that mean I have to do your voice, James?
Hello.
And my haircut.
Hello, this feels really
Hi.
weird. I'm sat in the hot seat.
Is it
or is
hot?
James in the hot seat?
I'm behind both of you. That's what
Wow.
I'm going to say to you.
You look very chilled out there. Do you want to start producing? I can
No.
go home.
I'm fine. You crack on.
For any of you viewing on YouTube, you'll notice there's a little bit of a change this week. We have a seat shuffle.
I don't like him behind us because there's no way of knowing what he's doing.
Well, we could just watch him on the screen.
Yeah, I know, but then how do I look at you then?
We might just not know if he's left. That's the only thing.
Only if I've invested in a city.
If you hear a smash, he's jumped out the window.
We've had a change around for some reasons, and we might or might not discuss them later on. So,
Okay.
should we get cracking?
Yeah. Are you preparing us?
Pa 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 pa
Get on
pa
with it.
pa pa. Were you producing halfway through the papas? I already prefer it when you join in the papas.
Get on with it.
Okay, brilliant. Sorry. Hi everyone, we are the Popcorn Pundits,
Hello.
and
Hi.
this is episode 28.
Yes.
And today's date is, James?
Today's date is Thursday, something in May. 9th,
Ninth.
10th,
9th.
of May. That's what it is. As a producer goes,
What year are we?
it's over to 2000.
Okay.
Yes,
Perfect.
that's all you need to know.
About 20 odd years into
20
it.
years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this week, James has been poorly pops.
I
He
have
has.
been a little poorly
And
bunny.
has not seen any films or television all week.
Well,
So
not,
we-
I've seen a lot of television.
but because he hasn't done any actual work for this, we've relegated him to
We have.
the
Well, I
naughty
wouldn't
chair.
classify it as relegation.
Excuse me, I'm
Yeah.
normally sat in that relegated
Yeah,
chair.
you always deserve to be in the naughty chair.
I think I've been shifted around because of my lack of knowledge about this week's cinema releases.
There we go. I'm quite excited about being interrupted slightly less than usual.
Sorry?
I
Maybe
don't know.
not.
I don't know. I can't work it out. Now he's got the freedom. Goodness knows what he's googling on my laptop.
So anyway, we are the Popcorn Pundits, and this is what we do on a weekly basis.
Yes, we are encouraging people to get out, go to your local cinema, support your local cinema. There's some great films out at the moment.
There are, and some
which-
absolute shit ones as well.
Well, yeah, that too, but I didn't want to say that because I'm a good girl. I don't swear.
Okay, well we're going to review how good and how shit those films are,
Okay.
with the top 10 to begin with.
Okay.
I went to see The Fall Guy this week.
You did.
And I went to see that last night, so I'll be reviewing that afterwards.
And I saw Back to Black.
Cool, so you're going to be reviewing that after
I
I've done
will,
my
yes.
job. Awesome. And then we're going to talk about any listener reviews that we had, and then
Just ignore him.
Stop
He's
it.
doing it on purpose.
TikTok. And then I'm going to review my homework. Actually, I'm not
Yes.
going to review my homework. This week we're going to discuss my homework.
Are we?
We are.
Between the two of you.
No.
Carry
No.
on.
I don't think Nikki's seen it. But
Shall
anyway,
we kick off with the top 10?
we should. So number 10 is Macbeth with Ralph Fiennes and Indira Varma.
Not a film.
Excellent, perfect. Number 9, Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire. It's also not really a film.
Oh,
to be
it
honest
is.
with you.
It is. Stop being such a sourpuss.
It's a bag of shite.
No, it's not.
Love Lies Bleeding is number 8.
We'll be seeing it this weekend.
Yeah, we're going to see it this weekend. I'm quite excited about it.
What's that about, please, producer?
It's about a bodybuilding
Lady.
lady who has a relationship with another lady, and it's all very dark and sinister. I can't wait.
Yeah, actually, the trailer for this is quite nondescript and
Yes.
non-descriptive,
Yes.
isn't it? So
in a very sort of like I would say, call me by your name sort of style.
yes, as
So low key.
a seductive, come and see it. You won't know what it's about unless you do type of.
Kirsten, what's the name's in it?
Number 7, Civil War, the film that proved Pete wrong.
Yes, indeed.
Which we have on record.
Number 6 is Tarot, which I've not seen actually. I want to go and see that this week.
That does look like a fantastic sort of generic horror movie.
It does.
It's quite new, so hopefully it'll be in top 10 for a few weeks.
Yeah.
Not as many weeks as Kung Fu Panda.
No.
It's that's number 5.
6 weeks has been up to.
Yeah. Number 4 is Back to Black, which is Nikki's review later on.
Yes, and it is a film because it doesn't have that many songs in it.
There's all her songs in it.
No, but not the full songs.
Ah.
Anyway, we'll discuss that in a minute.
See, I tricked you into starting your review early. Number 3 is Challengers.
Yes.
Number 2. Why is this number 2, James?
Well, because on Saturday it was May the 4th.
And what's significant about that?
Because that's going to be with you.
and also with you.
Yes.
Star Wars Day.
Yeah, so
Yes.
Star Wars
I-
Episode 1.
I went full retro and I watched A New Hope on Saturday.
I thought you were going to say you went in uniform.
He's got a custom-made sequin Darth Vader.
Love it. And then straight in at number 1 is the film that I'm going to be reviewing, which is The Fall Guy.
Which I'm actually really excited to hear about this review because I really want to go watch it. So no pressure.
Why do you want to go and watch it?
Because it looks good.
Not because of Ryan Gosling.
I like him as an actor, but not an like he's not one that I would perv on. I just think he's a good actor.
I would certainly perv on him.
Would you?
He's
I
a
have
very,
perved on him.
very, very
I'm
pretty
perving them right
person.
now.
Is that why
That's why I'm
Computer's
sitting down
making
here.
that?
Exactly.
I'm so glad
You
that
need a new
screen's
mouse.
up.
I'm so glad. Yeah, I'm gonna have to delete my browsing history, aren't I?
So there we go. So that's this week's top 10. And I think out of that lot, I would probably... Well, I can't say if I would review or suggest going to see The Fall Guy or not for a little while. Obviously, Star Wars, all the Star Wars films were
always.
pretty epic. Challenges, we kind of thought was all right. And
No, we didn't.
and we'll find out about Back to
No,
Black.
we did not.
We haven't seen Kung Fu Panda. Maybe we should go and see Kung Fu Panda, James.
You don't have to have seen the first 3.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jack Black won't mind.
Okay.
So there we go.
There we go.
That's it. That's the top 10.
So, do you want to kick us off with Fall Guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Fall Guy. This is a film directed by David Leitch, I believe the pronunciation of his surname is, and his description on IMDb is billion-dollar film director, actor, stuntman, writer, producer, and stunt coordinator. That's his actual description on IMDb.
Why wouldn't you be?
Well, this is his film, like to celebrate everything he loves and everything he does.
And why not?
It's
Well, before we started this podcast, you made a comparison between this film and Bullet Train.
yeah,
The director of Bullet Train was originally Brad Pitt's stuntman in World War Z.
oh right,
There you go.
okay.
So there's a crossover. There you go. That's my little bit of production.
Oh yeah, because
Crossover for you?
that was co-directed with David Leitch, wasn't it? The two of them directed it together, I believe. But yeah, so anyway, so David Leitch also directed Atomic Blonde with I can't speak today. Charlize Theron.
Yes.
He directed the first John Wick.
Yep.
He directed the second Deadpool, and he directed one of the Fast and Furious, like later sequels, like Hobbs and Shaw. And this is exactly what you're getting with this film. It's a stunt fest. It's basically a celebration of stuntmen. So Ryan Gosling is basically, the film starts and he's getting blown up and chucked out of this, and that's happening and this is happening, and he's on a film with Aaron Taylor Johnson, who plays a character called Tom Ryder, and he's his stunt double. And basically Tom Ryder is a typical superstar, and he basically thinks that Ryan Gosling's character, which is Colt Seavers, is just a stuntman and doesn't really kind of do anything of significance, and he's not as pretty as he is, and he's not as great as he is, and the film starts off with him having to do this high fall stunt, and it ends up badly, and Colt Seavers ends up having a very, very serious accident and breaks his back, and then kind of disappears into the netherness for a year or 18 months while he's kind of sorting his head out and getting himself back together, and he ends up as a car valet in a restaurant, and then all of a sudden he gets the phone call because he needs to come back, and before he has the accident, there's also a huge kind of love story between him and the beautiful Emily Blunt, and the two of them are kind of just like the best couple ever, and they love each other, and it's all kind of fantastic and awesome and brilliant. And then when he has the accident, he obviously thinks that he's rubbish and no good to anybody anymore, and basically just cuts her off and doesn't call her anymore.
Sounds like a typical bloke, but
Typical bloke, exactly. She becomes the director of this film, and the producer of the film phones up Colt Seavers and basically says that Jodie wants you to be the saviour stunt person on this movie, so fly over to Australia and come and save everything. So he is obviously very happy that he's had the call, flies over to Australia, and then the kind of dark plot begins. And actually, when he gets there, the producer turns around to him and says, actually, Tom Ryder has disappeared and we need you to go and find him. And then basically there's a whole story based around why he's disappeared and trying to find him, and it turns into more of a kind of like adventure plot.
Did
And
he sulk because they broke up?
He was sulking for quite some
Yeah.
time. Yeah, he was.
Typical.
Yeah, and that's it. And
Sure.
so that's kind of the plot of the film, and it's really pretty good.
Oh, okay. Any facts, producer?
Well, it's funny you say that because the top line is "Don't think too hard about the plot."
Yeah, it's
That's the first line that comes up.
it is basically just a huge celebration of jumping off things.
Yeah.
So I think this film has got more car rolls than any other film that has ever been made ever.
Well, I'll back you up on that fact because it's got 8.5 car rolls, which breaks the Guinness World Record.
How do you have
I was
half
just
a
about
car
to
roll?
ask the same thing.
It all depends on how big the car is.
But surely then
Oh,
that's
it's just half a car that rolls, you mean?
Yeah.
but surely that's a flip, not a roll. Because a roll would be 360.
I'm going to
surely.
Google Guinness.
360?
360
Yeah.
is the
I'm
whole
gonna
way
Google
around.
Guinness
And then
Book of Records
a
and find
half-
out exactly
You
what their
should.
requirements
I think
are.
you should call them up.
Yes.
Because 180 would just be a flip.
However, do you want to hear a quote from Colt Seavers?
Yes, please.
Always.
He said, "It's one of the quotes is, I'll buy you a drink after this. Engage your core."
Yeah, but do you know who he's talking to?
Aaron Johnson Taylor.
He's talking to a stunt dog who's strapped into the passenger seat of his
Is
car.
it?
Yeah, it's so
Engage your core to the dog.
So this film is so light and it's so entertaining, and we kind of we've seen like thousands of trailers of this film, haven't we? So basically, we've seen the trailer over and over again every time we've been to the cinema, and it pretty much delivers exactly what it does in the trailer.
Good.
It's really really good fun. It's a pretty decent plot line, I've got to say. Actually, Ryan Gosling is just absolutely stunningly beautiful, and I think if you didn't love him before, you'll certainly be loving him again in this, because it is he's just brilliant. Absolutely love it. Emily Blunt, you're quite a fan, aren't you?
I love both of them.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind being a sandwich.
the filling in.
A Gosling
Bit of
bland
jam.
sandwich.
Yeah, she's
Or ham. Or a bit of cheese, maybe.
she plays a really kind of smart directory character. She's really good acting in it. It's,
Yeah. She'd be a high protein sourdough bread.
You'd put a bit of Marmite in there, wouldn't
You
you?
know it. Slip a bit of Marmite. Yeah. Any excuse for yeast extract.
I don't need to know about your yeast infection, thank you.
Right.
lovely. And then the other main actor in it is a guy called Aaron Taylor Johnson, who we were
Yes.
discussing earlier on as well, weren't we? Because
That's right.
there are rumours afoot that he could potentially be the new James Bond.
Do we know if he is related to director Sam Taylor Johnson?
Producer James.
I'm going to find out right now.
Okay. While he's finding out, anything else you tell us about what score did you give it?
No, that's what I've got to say about the film. It's,
Okay.
I really enjoyed it, and I kind of went in kind of thinking it was going to be exactly what it was going to be. And you sit down, and in all honesty, you just you're sort of on a roller coaster for like an hour and a half. It's just absolutely brilliant.
Nice.
I gave it 7.9.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought
Good
it was pretty
score.
wicked.
What day of the week would you recommend it for?
Oh, well, I went to see it on a Monday evening, which was not necessarily the right evening. I think you could see this on a Friday or a Saturday. Yeah, that's it.
How would you improve it? Samuel L. Jackson.
Sam Taylor
We haven't
Johnson.
had.
See, I should have clocked it as soon as you said it, but that's the ongoing relationship that they got married years and years and
Oh,
years.
so it's her husband.
Yes. He was like 12, and she was 34.
Oh yes, yeah.
And who be she?
Tam.
She's a director. She actually directed Back to Black. Back to Black.
right,
Blah,
okay.
blah, blah. Dyslexic teething. So you
Yep.
recommend going to see it then, Peter?
I would absolutely recommend going to see it. It's absolutely brilliant, and it's definitely a cinema movie. If you can go and see it in one of the big, loud cinema screens, all the better. It's got some wicked stunt scenes in it. It's absolutely brilliant. But that's what you're going to get. You're going to get Ryan Gosling looking gorgeous, Emily Blunt looking stunningly amazing and acting really well, and loads of stuntage.
She always acts really well, to be fair.
How would you improve it?
I don't know. I think it does exactly what it does. There's even a beautiful cameo by Lee Majors.
Is there? I was
Heather
going to
Thomas.
ask you.
It's one of those beautiful right at
Did
the
he
end.
sing the song?
It's sung at the end of the
Is it?
film.
Oh,
it is, yeah.
it's
It's
worth
sung
watching
at the
just
end
for
of the
that.
film
I
with
used
some
to be-
old classic
Yeah.
clips to kind of see you out for the movie. Yeah,
Nice.
It's I love it. It was really, really good.
Good. Right.
Do we know what the score of it was on IMDb?
We do indeed. I'll tell you. I'll tell you what the score was.
Top of the screen.
Top of the screen. It usually is. And it's coming up now. 7.3.
Okay, so not too far off.
No, no. Well, we can amend the score when James
Yes.
goes to see it, and it'll probably end up round about there. But yeah, no, I thought it was brilliant, really good.
Good.
Nice.
Good, good,
Perfect.
good. So that's your score for Fall Guy.
The Fall Guy, brilliant.
Nice. What's next, producer?
Nicky McNicky, you went to see Back in Black at a local cinema.
I did, yes.
Did you go with anybody? Did you
I
bring any
went with-
food with you?
I went with my bestie, Bianca,
Right.
and we bought popcorn there.
Did you?
Yes.
What flavour popcorn did you have?
I went for sweet. I think
you?
she went for a mix.
And did you have a drink with it?
Just a Diet Coke.
Right. You didn't mix it with cherry cola or anything?
No.
Okay, just checking.
Why would I
It's
mix-
important. This
why would-
information is important.
Okay.
We've not done food edits for
I
quite
know.
some time,
I thought I went
actually.
straight in there.
We should maybe reintroduce
So
that.
I went to
might be right.
see Back to Black.
What day did you go and see it?
I went to see it on a Saturday.
Nice.
It was a nice Saturday.
Afternoon
Was
or
it a
evening?
Saturday? No, it was a Wednesday.
Was it?
Yeah, Wednesday evening I went to see it.
Right, okay. Wow.
I don't know what day we're on anymore.
It must have been a Thursday because you went to see it straight after we finished recording the podcast. Actually,
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. There was a Y in the day that I went to see it.
Exactly.
So the tagline is the life and music of Amy Winehouse through the journey of adolescence to adulthood and the creation of one of the best-selling albums of our time.
Right.
So it's all based on her Back to Black album and
Of course it is.
the lead up to it, because she'd had a lot of other albums out before that. And it was really interesting because even though people know the story of Amy Winehouse, it was interesting to kind of see that. And I know it's not from her perspective, as in they can't ask her how she felt, but you know, it was yeah, I really enjoyed it. I found it really interesting. So they start, I think she's about 14, 15, and she's just been, I think, kicked out of like music academy or whatever and stuff, and then obviously it's all like how she met Blake, who is the man she eventually ended up marrying, and
The love of her life.
was blamed, I say in air quotes, for her untimely death.
Right.
And actually, the guy who plays him, I really liked him. He is called Jack O'Connell, and he played Blake. He started acting on British TV, like Holby, The Bill, Waterloo Road, and he was most recently in Ferrari, which you boys have reviewed recently.
Right.
He
Did he play a car?
he played Peter Collins.
All right.
I don't
Nobody played a car in Ferrari.
know.
I've not got a
Lightning
clue.
McQueen did.
Not in Ferrari. Did she actually make loads of albums before Back to Black?
At least
Not
2 or 3.
loads,
I
I
think she
think
made at least 2.
She
Did she?
had,
Yeah.
she had
I thought
definitely.
she was like a one-album girl.
No, so she had a lot of the jazz ones because she was all into that jazz. I think it was her aunt who got her into that. The lady who played her is Marissa Albella, who there were some points in the film, if you didn't know Amy Winehouse had died, you would have thought it was Amy Winehouse.
Wow.
Yeah.
She spent quite a while trying to get like the tone of how Amy spoke,
Yeah.
and there are a few songs in there. It's not the full song. And even the way she sang and the facial expressions, it was honestly like, as for her acting skills, I would say 10 out of 10.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
Because I must admit, yeah, I've seen the trailer for this, and I agree. It does look so much like her. Because was she in House of Cards? Is that the actress from House of Cards?
I'm
I'm
not
just
sure.
checking now
I
for
think
you.
so. I think she
Just
was.
have to ask the producer.
While producers checking, Amy's dad was actually played by Eddie
I
Marzan.
love him.
Yeah.
Who is in things like Tyrannosaur. He's in loads of film and TV, especially over in the UK, and he was also in Deadpool 2.
What was the one that you got me to watch, which had him in it?
Tyrannosaur.
Tyrannosaur. God, yeah, that's right.
She's also in Gentleman as well.
Oh, he was
He's in
brutal
so
in
much.
That. Oh yeah, he's great. He's
And
great
he
in
played it
Gentleman.
really well. And it was just really, because even though you know the story of Amy,
Yes.
it was just really fascinating. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. The director, as I was saying earlier, was Sam Taylor Johnson, and she is known for Nowhere Boy, 50 Shades of Grey, and Love You More, and being married to Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Yes.
But yeah, I actually really enjoyed it. There were points where I was convinced it was Amy. They brought her back, and honestly, the girl who sang it, because apparently there were rumours that she was gonna mime.
Yeah, but I mean, when you're reproducing the vocal cords of such a strong singer like Freddie Mercury or Elton John, so on and so forth, I think the director has to make a decision: is this going to be a true representation of
Yeah.
the singer? And if so, that has to be the singer's voice, or is it going to be an artistic
Yeah,
Yeah.
an artistic
right.
interpretation?
Yeah, absolutely.
And hence that's where Elton John came in, and so on
Yeah.
and so forth. So I think there's a valid case for both arguments.
Yeah, I
That's what
completely
think.
agree.
What do you think, Petey?
Yeah, I totally agree. I think it has to be one or the other. Because you had concerns about this, didn't you?
did.
You were concerned that this was just a means to generate money to the estate of Amy Winehouse.
I'm
didn't
afraid
you?
so. Yes.
And I mean, it's doing a good job at that. I mean, it's number 4 and has grossed over £10 million total box office takings, which is pretty decent for a low budget film like it is.
I'm not surprised. I really enjoyed it, and as I said, even though I know the story, as in what happened to her in the end, it's all those bits in between, like the inspiration she got from her aunt, and then her aunt gets really poorly and stuff, and she even throughout the film loses weight, like Amy lost weight, and apparently they actually filmed those final scenes first, so she'd had a really strict diet and food regime.
Oh, on the run
so
up to
they
the
filmed
film.
those first and then let her
Feed
put
up.
her weight back on. So it kind of, I guess they filmed it in reverse in a way. So
Yeah, because Amy Winehouse was part of the 27 Club, wasn't she?
she was, yeah.
So-
yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting, however, the apparently Jeff Tunnock was claimed to be cast as Mark Ronson. And it says here in the trivia that Mark Ronson was never a character in the film. Do you see Mark Ronson in the film Nicky McNicky?
No. They
Wow.
reference him and they talk about her flying out to, I think it was LA.
Right.
And you sit there thinking, oh, Mark Ronson's, and he isn't in it.
Interesting.
So they talk about her flying over to LA to go
Oh, wow.
with this producer that's up and coming called Mark Ronson.
very
Because that's the one she did Valerie with.
That's when he did the whole Back Black was him.
Well, yeah, but
Or the whole the reasons why there's horns on that, the reason why it's got that the reason why it's got the retro sound is because he was
It's
obsessed
him.
with horns,
yeah.
like all men are.
Pretty true, but it is nice as well because it's the whole like the jazz scene and how she got into the jazz
Okay.
scene, and like her background is the jazz scene. I really enjoyed it.
Good.
It is 2 hours and 2 minutes, but I think it was worth it.
Mm-hmm.
I would go and sit. I would sit on a Friday or Saturday night actually.
Okay.
And
How would you improve it?
how would I improve it? I think
Mark Ronson.
yeah.
Yeah. Give
Just
him,
my-
give
Samuel
him the accolade
Jackson.
that he probably deserves, maybe. You know, don't know. Just
Who sang
throwing up.
Valerie originally?
Sorry.
Was it the Zootons? No.
Yeah.
Yes.
Was it?
Yeah.
Because they hate it now, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because it's only really her version that's played. The
Yeah,
Zootons,
even
is
though they
very-
get royalties for it.
Oh, yeah, of course,
But they can't do anything else, can
It's
they?
like Lily Allen did "Oh My Gosh" by
Mm-hmm.
the Kaiser Chiefs.
Yeah.
Is it Kaiser Chiefs?
Mhm.
And obviously hers is played more.
But that
than
was Mark
theirs.
Ronson as well.
No, I know, but because that was the covers
Version.
album that he did.
The version
Versions album, yeah.
Yep.
What score did you give it, the Nicky McNicky?
6.9.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Is that a good score for you or a bad score for you?
That's actually a good score for me. It's
Yeah.
6.6 on IMDb. How would I improve it? It's a very good. I don't know, actually. It's interesting.
There have been a lot of musical biopics, haven't there, recently? And
There's going to be a lot more.
is there?
There's going to be a lot
Yeah,
more.
there's-
Because apparently there are rumours that Leonardo DiCaprio, who's going to be playing?
He's going to be playing what's his face
Who's
from
really
Nirvana.
cocky?
No.
Who's really cocky?
No.
Ed Sheeran.
No. Ed Sheeran. Frank Sinatra.
Really?
Frank Sinatra. Hey, good looking.
Well,
I can
what?
tell
Yeah,
you that.
exactly. So why don't they get someone
I
who's?
can't. You
He's
lead-
too old to
you
play
lead-
Frank Sinatra.
Well, it all depends how old he plays Frank Sinatra.
It
And
doesn't
obviously
matter.
you've got Timothy. And Bob
Chalamet.
Dylan.
Oh yeah, there.
Chalamet.
Are you going to see any of these?
Sorry?
Are you going to go and see any of
Of
these?
course I am.
Oh yeah.
I might rate them
He's-
and moan it
He's
away.
waiting for the Beatles one to come out.
Right, there you go. So that's our 2 cinematic reviews for the week.
Yes.
Is indeedy McDeedy.
Yeah. So has anyone else been to see any films this week?
We have had a review from
Oh, who by?
best friend Bianca, who I went to see
Ah,
Back to Black
okay.
with. She said,
The person next to me was eating popcorn too loud.
she's like, I was sat next to some weirdo. She said, more enjoyable than I anticipated. It's romanticised rather than graphic. Both approaches would have their pros and cons. Marissa Albella, who plays Amy, puts on a great performance as Amy Winehouse, although her version of Rehab is slightly subpar, which I think you'd find interesting. The film is sensitive. rather than voyeuristic. Overall, an enjoyable watch that acknowledges Winehouse's tragic flaws while celebrating her music, power, and beauty.
Oh, very good.
Thanks,
Did she
Dean.
give a score?
She didn't know. I did tell her to, but I'll let her off as she's my best friend.
Fair enough. Okay. Fabulous.
Amazing.
So there you have it. That is Fall Guy
Yes.
reviewed, and also Back to Black reviewed as well in a brand new stylie,
Beautiful.
in a curly-haired sort of stylie.
I know, you look good with curly
Thank
hair.
you very much.
Have you
It's
seen
not
him with
worth it.
curly hair?
I don't know that he's getting his seat back. I have seen him with curly hair.
Because I'm
Yeah.
worth it. So
Do you want to do a swap while you discuss Peter's homework?
no, you carry on. No, I feel comfortable here.
So, Peter, you
Hi.
had homework last week.
I did have
What
homework.
was your homework last week? Oh, that one I can't pronounce.
My homework this week was a Chilean film called El Conda.
It was indeed.
Was it? Is that pronounced correctly, James?
I think it is. Yes.
And what does El Conda stand for?
Is this because you googled it?
No, it's because it's quite obvious because it's a vampire film.
Yeah. El Conda probably means to drink blood.
Count Dracula.
Oh, does it? Is that what it means?
It means the
there you go.
count.
There you
Yeah.
go. Thanks
And
for that.
yeah, there you go.
As in the Sesame Street one.
Yes,
Oh.
one.
Two.
So
Would you like? So this is on Netflix. It's a black and
yes,
white film.
it's a Netflix produced film, isn't
Yes,
it? I think
it's
it's a
fairly
film
really-
for Netflix.
That's right.
How did you come about this film, and when did you watch it?
I watched this film about two and a half months ago, and it literally just come out.
It's 2023 production,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Literally just come out. My wife and I were flicking through, and we said we wanted something light-hearted, but we still want to keep on that horror sort of jaunt. I'm always quite favourable towards a subtitle movie, and also I've got a small sort of heart fluttering when I see a black and white film pop up on Netflix as well. So then it ticked all the boxes, and I thought, how can it possibly not the film for me?
Cool.
And I was right. And in fact, initially I didn't watch it. We literally started watching another film initially, and went, no, let's go back to this one because we've got to stick to our convictions, and we were not disappointed. Peter McPete, when did you watch it, and what did you think about it?
So I watched this on Monday morning because it was bank holiday this
course.
weekend, and yeah, so I got it up on Netflix, and it starts off black and white, and you kind of start off in a remote farmhouse, and you basically meet the Count, who is a 250-year-old vampire who's basically been there, seen it all, done it all. And he's pretty much ready to go. He's exhausted. There's nothing left to do. He's
I tell you what, if you ever wanted an advert for not living your life to the full potential, to the point where if you've done everything and you just want to let go now,
you're content.
Yeah, exactly.
You're finished,
Yeah.
and it's over and done with.
Finished.
Yeah, that's it. Honestly,
He's
and
spent completely.
And he's kind of like shimmying around in a pair of tracksuit pants and a pair of trainers, like Asics trainers, and he just kind of like, this is like brilliant. It was just like that is what I want all 250-year-old vampires to be walking around like. It was brilliant. So anyway, then we reverse in time.
Yes.
And he's a soldier in France.
That's right.
Just before the French Revolution, and he's vampirized, and he basically witnesses the French Revolution and the guillotining of Marie Antoinette.
Yes.
And then he's becoming more and more important in the French resistance, and it got to a stage where his life is in danger, or he's been in danger of being caught out. So he fakes his own death, and then basically spends the next few decades aiding resistances all over the world. Yeah,
Is he a vampire at this point?
he is a vampire
Okay.
at this stage. So this is the beginning of his
Of him
250
faking his
years.
death. Okay.
Absolutely. Anyway, so he ends up in Chile, and he is then named, what's his first name? I forgot what his first name is, James, but
Count.
Pinochet. So basically, he becomes General Pinochet,
That's
who was the revolutionary who overthrew the Chilean government, and basically becomes General Pinochet running Chile.
I love the cultural references all the way through. It's absolutely divine.
I love the fact that that they're basically suggesting that all the evil world leaders are basically vampires.
Exactly, particularly the end.
Are we going to discuss the end?
I think
Does
if
it
it's-
ruin it?
I think if it's a newish movie, it might ruin it.
Okay, there is a voiceover the whole way through the film, which ends up being another tyrannical leader
Yes.
who has a relationship with General Pinochet. And anyway, so that happens at the end of the film, and it is a plot twist which you won't see coming at all, and is actually quite what?
I know. I had to stop. I paused and I went. And so yeah. I went, yeah. Okay. Let's carry on.
But, so anyway, so that happens. However, during the process of this all happening, he ends up in the farmhouse being like this old vampire who definitely is ready to kind of, pop his clogs. So he calls his kids over to kind of discuss the financial affairs of all of the illegal gains that he's got from being this kind of like evil tyrannical leader.
Yeah.
And the kids come round and they basically they're not vampires. They are just like trustafarian, like spoiled brat kids.
It's like Succession, but not as cool.
How long after he's died is this?
He's not dead. He's a vampire still.
Yeah. But are they vampire kids or are they...
They're real kids. So he's 250 years old and the kids are, I would say, in their early 40s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
so he fathered children quite old.
Yeah, absolutely.
But how are they not half vampire then?
I don't know. This is one of the things in the film is like they interact between absolute banality and normality and the weirdness and like excitement of vampirism, and it's and they just blend between the two like seamlessly, like it's nothing, don't they? It's just like you have some characters that are just normal humans but are accepting of the vampires, and there are vampires who just know that their kids are just average like people.
Yeah.
I mean, they are kind of like normal kids, but they are totally trustafarian because what then happens is that they don't know how to decipher General Pinochet's books and his accounts and what he actually has, like in the bonds and the properties that he owns and everything. So one of the children, this daughter, basically decides to invite her friend over.
Yeah, I know. How weird is that?
And her friend is a beautiful nun. We like a nun at the moment, don't we?
Who doesn't like a
You
nun?
boys and your nuns.
Yeah.
Don't get into the habit of that.
Anyway,
Oh.
swap seats.
Yeah.
And anyway, so basically the church.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Oh, where are you going? This is what it's like going to the cinema with him.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. Anyway,
who's he meeting?
So she is basically a nun,
Yeah.
and the nun pick her because she's stunningly beautiful,
Of
but then
course.
also that she has numeric genius. She's an accountant of dreams,
So
basically.
she'd be a
Back.
Mensa.
Yeah, she would be, absolutely. And it's quite apparent that the church are sending this particular person because they think that she can infiltrate the vampire and what's the word I'm looking for? Remove the badness from him? What's the
Exorcise.
Exorcise him.
Exorcise.
Because they don't think that vampires are vampires, they think they are the devil in a human being. And he is savable in some way, shape or form.
Yeah.
So she's sent as a church spy, and the church basically say, and if you can nick anything for the church while you're there,
Exactly.
that won't be frowned upon.
Nope.
Anyway, so
Do their habits have pockets? Could she put anything in her pockets?
There's
to
a lot
steal
underneath
it?
that habit. You
Yeah.
can put a shopping trolley underneath there. Nobody notices.
They'll just think you're a pregnant nun.
Exactly.
anyway, so while we're at this deserted farmhouse in the countryside, we also meet, what is his name? His name is Fyodor, who's the white Russian butler, who
he's
basically
amazing.
has looked after General Pinochet and his wife, what's her name? Lucia, isn't it? And for decades and decades, and it kind of transpires that Lucia and the butler are actually having an affair.
Yeah.
And so there are lots of webs woven, aren't
Yes.
there? And it is, it's brilliant. And
It sounds complicated, but it's very simple at the same time.
it's quite complicated, but it's not unwatchably complicated.
No, not in a fast sort of way.
It's very, very smart. And
Yes.
it's very, very elegant, and it's visually stunning. There are scenes of. So one of the things I love about it is that they don't drink blood in like traditional ways.
No.
So they do have the means to. They have the sharp, pointy teeth. However, they decide that they're going to basically have heart smoothies instead of drinking blood.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Everything goes through a blender.
they take live
Nice.
beating hearts from chests and blend them, then pour them into like smoothie cups and drink them, and that's their kind of way of consuming.
Okay.
Anyway, so we've got a
Haven't tried
nun,
that yet.
and we've got a couple of vampires, and we've got some Trustafarian children
Yeah.
all in a farmhouse, and then it turns into a bit of a kind of a bit of a sleuthy thing.
Yeah.
And she's kind of like, the nun is kind of hunting around for information and trying to find out what's what, and all sorts of different things happen. There is a random vampirization of somebody, and they learn to fly for the first time, and it's one of the most beautiful scenes you'll
Amazing.
ever see in a film ever. It is, it's magical. It's really, really magical. And, oh God, I mean, there's another little twisty bit, isn't there?
There
And I
is.
don't know whether to go into that twisty bit.
Give that bit, but I don't think you should.
I don't need to
reveal-
say it, actually. I thought of a way I can
Okay,
say it
go for
without
it.
saying
Nice,
it.
well done.
Something happens to General Pinochet which basically realises that he doesn't want to die anymore. He's actually realised there is a lust for life
There is.
and a joie de vivre, and he kind of comes back and basically decides that he's going to take his tracksuit bottoms off and his ASIC trainers off and put on his
Get the old cloak out.
get the old general's outfit back out again and live life again.
Yes.
Nice.
This film is bloody
It was a little
brilliant.
gem, wasn't it?
It's-
It was a little gem.
I can't. So first of all, this is really poorly scored on IMDb.
I agree.
And I think they've got it absolutely totally wrong. This is by far the best James film that I've seen so far. It is the best.
Ah.
This is brilliant. This should be one of the best films ever made ever. It should be reviewed massively. It is witty. It is smart. It is like the twist at the end. Because there are so many stories going. Sorry, I am making it sound really complicated because I'm blabbering about it. But all of the stories work so elegantly together, and it's the story I was thinking about was there's something onion. What's that kind of detective?
Oh.
Glass on it.
The glass
Yeah.
onion. It's that type of
It
plot.
does have that
that
sleuthy
feel to it. Yeah, it's
I
got that
agree.
kind of sleuthy feel to it. Exactly right. But on top of that, you've got a beautiful vampire story, and like I don't think I've ever seen a film where it starts off with a knackered vampire. I mean, what a great thing to do, and it's yeah.
Do we know if it's connected to the onion in any way? at
No,
all?
it won't be at all.
It wouldn't. No.
I don't
Okay.
believe it's
It's just interesting how it's similar. isn't it?
Yeah.
The production of, I mean, I don't know whether the Glass Onion was a Netflix film, was it? I mean,
I believe it was.
It was.
yeah, so I would say that this definitely has Netflix feelings about it, about
Yeah,
the
I
production and everything. The cinematography is absolutely beautiful, and that scene of this particular person learning to fly, I will take to the grave with me, because it's a scene of just pure innocence and delight, and it's just lovely. It's absolutely gorgeous. Loved it.
And what I really like about this film is one of these films that sort of creeps up on you, because you get the first, as you said, you get the first scene and you go, okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to go with it. I'm not too sure what direction it's going in. And it just blossoms.
But
Just
you
really
notice I
beautifully.
haven't mentioned a single actor.
No.
I haven't mentioned the director of this
No,
film, and I've
not
done that
at
on
all.
purpose because it absolutely doesn't matter.
No.
Everyone is fantastically cast in it. It's so beautifully directed. I
wasn't
can't
familiar with
pronounce
any of the-
anything.
Yeah, well, exactly. I agree. I wasn't familiar with any of the actors.
No, it's
or
a totally unknown cast, and and I'm not particularly au fait with Chilean cinema, but it's pretty good.
Good.
Chilean cinema is pretty
So
awesome.
what would you score?
I've given it an 8.9.
Wow.
I would say it's probably one of the best films I've seen in the last 6 months.
There you go.
Amazing.
It's amazing. It is absolutely
What
amazing.
day of the week?
Any day of the week, every day
It's
of the
true,
week.
honestly, because it
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily have a. You could watch it on Saturday night, but it's not restricted to Saturday night. Not like a Bullet Train or like a Fall Guy or something like that. Because you could watch it, as you said, on a Sunday afternoon, and it would.
But this is the first film that I've watched that I'm really upset I couldn't watch it for a second time before I've reviewed it, because the second you can forget about all the oh my god, what's this about? You know what it's about. You can settle down and you can get all those little nuances and twists and story and everything like that. and I really can't wait to watch it again. It is absolutely
Good.
epic, and it's black and white.
I know.
And it wouldn't be. It so needs to be black and
I know,
white.
it does.
It's just It's,
the noir part of it is so important, but also I think it also works better because it is subtitled. So then you're not distracted by.
but it's not exclusively subtitled. I mean, it's so good that you flick between subtitles and English language effortlessly.
Yeah.
There's like you don't struggle to go, oh, is this an English bit? Is this a foreign language bit? You literally you're just transfixed at the screen the whole time, and you have to watch this film.
Would you like to let the viewers know where you saw it and how it can be seen?
Straightforward. Just click onto Netflix. It's there. It's waiting for you. It is new word CONDE. Made in 2023. You have to watch it.
There you go. That's our recommendation of the week.
Nice.
Good. I'm really, really pleased. I feel like I've done some good this week.
You have done some good.
Once.
Even from behind.
So what are you setting Peter for his homework for next week?
It's yet again not an old film. It's a 2021 film.
Okay.
It is, and the reason why I did it, I'm actually set it up because we've actually got references to a recent film that we saw recently as well. Have you seen The Green Knight yet?
No.
Ah, good. So, director David Lowery. However, it's got Dev Patel.
Uh-huh.
It loosely follows the legend of the Green Knight, which is an English legend, but it's got lots of folklore, lots of beautiful storytelling, but most of all, the visuals in this film are breathtaking, and I feel this is one of those hidden gems yet again that people really, because it's a big movie and it's a beefy movie and there's a lot to take in and it's very serious, it takes itself very seriously, but it's, to me, it's everything that's, I'll give you an example, the television series The Witcher. It's everything that you'd want out of that, but condensed into an hour-long movie following the travels of the Green Knight, which is played by Dave Patel, going through mystical lands, going through haunted parts of England that you never knew existed, and also having his development as the Green Knight and having that relationship with his folklore, I think is really, really, and I think this is his precursor to obviously Monkey Man, obviously.
Brilliant.
Where
The
can it
Green
be
Knight.
found?
It can be seen on. I'm just looking through it now. I think it can be seen on Netflix.
Okay.
I will double check that and come back to you.
Thanks, James.
Thanks, James.
Absolute pleasure.
There we go.
So that's our week done. Week 29.
28.
28, close
in the
enough.
bag.
And what are we going to see this week?
We are going to see Love Bleeds and something or other. And also we're going to go see, I might go see Back to Black.
And the other Monkey Man film.
Oh yes, the other the
The Planet of the Apes.
Planet of the Apes, and also
yes.
Tarot as well.
Goodness, you're going to have a busy week this week.
We are.
Did you just try and say tarot?
That's
Yeah,
well.
Yeah.
Team Dyslexic KO.
Thank you so much.
So the Green
Go
Knight.
Team Dyslexia, yay!
Dyslexic KO, not dyslexia.
What's that mean?
It's okay how you spell okay when
Oh,
you're
brilliant.
dyslexic.
Okay, got it, yeah.
So the Green Knight, and it's night as in knight in shining armour, not daytime, nighttime, is found on Amazon Prime and Google Play Movies
Thank you
and
so
TV.
much.
That's okay. Where can people find us? How can people
Well,
listen?
you could see your gorgeous faces on YouTube.
Hi all.
Hi.
Yeah. Anyway, or if you want to have,
He's jealous that he's not near the camera.
He's like a teeny tiny man.
He's going to get the video and the whole
or you
the
can,
whole
I
edit
might
is just going to
I
be
might
on
just zoom
James.
in, yeah. Or you can edit, or you can listen to us on Spotify. We've got a fantastic channel on Spotify, and we're also on
Apple Podcasts.
Podcasts
And
as
also
well.
on Facebook.
Google
We are,
Podcasts.
yes, and Instagram as well. So if you'd like to slide into our DMs, send us any messages, let us know what you thought about the films that you've seen this week, or let us know what you thought about our reviews as well.
Yeah.
You can comment on YouTube.
Yeah, or if
Yeah.
you've got any films you want us to review,
Get
to
in
watch,
contact.
got any homework for Peter?
Yes, any birthday shout outs, that sort of thing.
Birthday shout-outs. Mine's coming up soon, and Peter's is in 2 months.
Is it?
Mine's next month, Peter's the
Yeah.
month after.
No good.
Peter, would you like to
21st.
papa out?
I think Nikki should do it.
Oh no.
Pa
I can't think fit now. Popcorn Pundits
Week 28.
You're supposed to say popcorn pundits.
podcast.
Podcast.
That's it.
That's it.
Quite like this format.